Welcome back to another video, and guys, I have good news and bad news for Bitcoin in the short run. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe. Other than that, let's get straight into the video. I want to talk about Bitcoin quickly, and yes, we did have a flash dump yesterday, and the flash dump hasn't recovered for Bitcoin, and the reason why is from our last video we have been talking about this rising wedge that's been forming for Bitcoin, and since getting this flash dump, we are now finding resistance at this level, at this old support. And this is not good in the short run, because this is confirmation for bears that we are getting a retest of that support is now flipping into resistance. All we need for it to properly confirm is a new high, or a new low, sorry, for the Bitcoin price. And I just want to, before I talk about the bad news and the good news as well for Bitcoin, I do want to quickly look and explain what Bitcoin is currently doing. Bitcoin, as we all know, it's been side trending, and it looks like the side trend is coming near to an end. And the reason why is that the EMA ribbons on the daily candles are squeezed together. They're very compact. This usually means that we are going to get a breakout to one side. It could be bearish or bullish, we don't know, but we'll be getting a big explosion soon to one of the sides. So I would be looking out for Bitcoin soon, because yes, it hasn't been moving and everyone's looking at altcoins, but we also need to keep our eye on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin looks like it's about to explode somewhere. And if we also look at the 4 hourly too, if we take out the Bollinger Bands, that the Bollinger Bands were indeed squeezing. Now what I mean when they were squeezing is that when the Bollinger Bands get close to each other, when they squeeze together, this usually indicates a breakout. As we see here, they squeezed and we went to the bullish side, got a nice pump, but they squeezed here and we went down. We can also see this here, they squeeze and then up. And if we look at the top of the price correction here, squeeze and then big dump. Currently I'll be looking at Bitcoin carefully and cautiously, because if this does now act as resistance, we could be getting a rejection down to the bottom of the conservative price target of 51,000 US dollars. Now we can look at this reg from here and take it like this, taking this as a fake out. And if this is the case, we do have a price target of, at the bottom of the wedge about here, which is about 52,700. So if we do go to these levels and we don't get support, then I'll be concerned. Otherwise we could get a bounce, and I'll talk about what could happen if it bounces in a second. I just want to talk about the bad news first, because it's good to look at the bad side, because we can't just always act bullish and not have a, if we don't hold this first horizontal ray here of the 52,800 area, then we could see a level of 51,000. If we don't hold this, we could be looking as low as the low we made at the price target. If we don't hold the 51,000, keep an eye out on for the low, because if we make a lower low, it confirms this bearish pattern that we've been forming. The lower low patterns. Here's a low, lower low, and if let's say it did this, bounce off this, and made a lower low here, this would be bearish for Bitcoin. So if we do make a lower low, we could be forming an M pattern such as this. Now we could even take it from here as such. However, I would be very careful, because both these patterns aren't the strongest of all M patterns. But if we did break out, the price target of this M pattern is very low, and I personally, guys, I do not think this will be happening, because we are breaking below some very key support lines. So this price target will be 30,000. Now why I don't think this could happen is because we have Elon Musk, who bought in and announced his purchase here. This is going to act as great support, and we also have a great support area, 53,000. Guys, if we look at the weekly candles as well, we have this 21-week moving average that will also act as support for us, which could lead to a bounce before we actually get to a price target of such. Now, with all the bearish news out of the way, now let's talk about the bullish. With the bullish news, we are these M patterns can easily flip into W patterns. This M pattern can be formed as long as we don't make a lower low. I think where we could be flipping the tide for the W pattern is at these two rays that we were talking about in the bearish scenario. So the 52,800, we could get a bounce off of it and go to new highs. Or if that doesn't happen, we could be looking at our rising wedge target of 51,000, getting a bounce off of that before breaking out. Now this will have the same price target as the M pattern. If we're taking it from bottom of the wick to the breakout area, we have a price target of about 72,000, which correlates exactly with our symmetrical triangle that we've been talking about. This being the symmetrical triangle. This is the price target of the W pattern, by the way. If I take the Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high to the bottom of the price correction, being the swing low, we can see we have perfect alignment with the 1.41 area for the Fibonacci. This is the exact, like I said a minute ago, this is the same price target that we have with the symmetrical triangle. So we should be looking out for 72,000. This is clearly an area that all the patterns are flashing bullish for. Other than that, guys, the last thing to conclude with Bitcoin, we shouldn't be getting too wide as long as we're not breaking these two rays. Or if we are breaking above into this pattern, that's also very bullish, and we're also getting a retest of that support. And I will update in the future any potential trades that could be taken into place if such like the W pattern plays out for us. The Ethereum did also have experienced the flash dump that Bitcoin made yesterday, and Ethereum perfectly got support at the breakout, this resistance, this old resistance, and it has confirmed that this resistance is now flipped into support. The thing that I would be looking out for Ethereum is if we are finding resistance now at the $4,000 mark, this mark here, because in the last five candles we have not been able to hold the $4,000 range, and in fact we've been getting resistance from it. We didn't even confirm support here, we just broke down below it. I would personally be just being cautious with Ethereum, because Ethereum has been overextended, but in the long run I am still very bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum is my favorite project. I love Ethereum, and I guess it's just cliche, but I can see a price target for Ethereum of bare minimum of 7,000 here. If you're going to do it for the long run, that's almost a 2x. I personally think though 10,000 is possible, especially if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, which I'll talk about in a later video. It is made a symmetrical triangle, which it has broken out of on the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart. And also I would like to say about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is looking even more bullish than ever, considering how we have now got Mark Zuckerberg potentially supporting Bitcoin. He posted on his Facebook, and I'll put up a picture now, that he has a goat which is named Bitcoin, and this is, I guess, another piece to the puzzle for who's going to be buying next, because Mark Zuckerberg is likely that he owns some Bitcoins himself. He's been interested in Bitcoin, or had his eye on Bitcoin, should I say, since 2010. 40 to 70,000 Bitcoins just disappeared a month ago on the exchange platforms. So I guess this is just another piece to add to the puzzle. Obviously, I'm not saying that Facebook has bought into Bitcoin. You know, this is just my opinion, and anything I say, as you probably know, nothing's financial advice. You should do your own research. Thanks for watching my video. Try to keep this one short. However, if you have any comments on how I can improve, or if you guys have any suggestions of which coins you want me to talk about, just leave them down in the comments, and I will talk about them in probably tomorrow's video or the next day's video. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.